everyone, it's Jenny Woolsey here, and September is Craniofacial Acceptance Month. When I was growing up, I think the hardest thing I had to deal with living with a craniofacial syndrome was the staring. Everywhere I went, whether it was to the shops, to the school, to the hospital, out in the community, I was stared at everywhere I went. It got tiresome. It made me feel like I was a freak, and I hated it. My mum tells this story of when I was a toddler, maybe about 3-4 years old. And we were walking down the main street of the town I grew up in. So there are a lot of people who actually knew me, my family being in the town for a couple of generations. But obviously this person hadn't seen me before, and it was a lady. And Mum recalls that as we were walking down the street, the lady spotted me and started to stare at me. But as I walked past her, she turned her head and she continued to stare at me. Now, Mum's always amused by how I reacted as a toddler. Apparently, I eyeballed her, and I kept my stare with her stare. So with my bulgy eyes, which I had when I was little, my eyes followed her eyes. Like a staring contest. And I was the winner because eventually she turned and kept going. Now, if you were born with a craniofacial syndrome, I'm sure you can identify with that in some way. I don't think there's many of us who escape going through our childhood without the stares and comments. So I thought it would be really important to spend some videos talking about these issues. And today I'm talking about staring. Now, we know people are curious beings. I must admit, I look at people who are different, but then I just look at them and glance away. The difference between curiosity and just seeing someone and staring is the length of time. According to the dictionary, a stare is a long, fixed look. It's not just oh yeah, look at what they're wearing, or oh yeah, they're in a wheelchair, or, oh yeah, she has a cane. It's when people, like the lady did when I was little, they continue to stare. And of course, as a parent, I also experienced the staring, the constant staring, from the time my children were babies. Now, it's hard when you have a child with a baby with a craniofacial syndrome in a pram. People look in other people's prams to see the baby. Well, when you have one that has a different face, and I'm also thinking about parents whose babies have cleft lips and palates, there's going to be stares, there's going to be reactions, and some of them aren't going to be pleasant. So my tip for today is a simple one, because dealing with staring depends on your mood, how you are feeling. Today's is going to be really simple, particularly if you're not in a good place. Ignore the stares. Now you're probably saying, why are you saying ignore the stares? Because sometimes if you ignore them, if you look the other way, if you keep going on with your business, they won't hurt you, they won't get inside you. Now, I have to say, now that I'm using a white cane, a long cane, I get stared at now everywhere I go. Kids ask their parents, what's that? What's that? People stare at me. They don't see a lot of people with canes and low vision, so they're curious. So in the beginning, that really triggered my childhood memories. But most of the time now, I ignore, and that's what I encourage you to do. The other thought I had on this is something I would do when my two were babies and I wasn't in a good place emotionally. I wanted to go out to the shops or something. I didn't want to deal with the stares. I'd actually just put a cover over the top. And that way people thought they were asleep. And that way I could just go about and not have to deal with people's rudeness, basically. So there are my tips for today. I'm going to have some more tomorrow. If you're liking my videos, please like, share, comment below. Thank you to those people who are already doing that. I really appreciate it. My name is Jenny Woolsey. I'm an author, speaker, teacher, and artist. And I have the motto, be weirdly wonderful, embrace your disability and differences. I will see you next time for the next video.